Hi, I'm Tom Bradford. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can apply for settled status if you're an EU national living in the UK. So given the prospect of a no-deal Brexit, it's a sensible move to at least consider making an application. You can do so using the app, and I'm going to talk you exactly through how to download it and use it. What it does is it effectively converts the exercise of your EU treaty rights into a UK domestic law permission in the form of indefinite leave to remain in the case of settled status. In this series, I'm going to show you in detail how to use the app, including pre-settled status, and also how you can apply to naturalise as a British citizen if you so wish after you've applied. So let's make a start. To download the app, you need an Android phone. You go to Google Play and you type in EU exit, and then it's this app, ID document check for EU exit. You then click on install. It downloads it. You may need to borrow a friend's Android for this. You open it, and then there's the app on your Android screen. So you open that up, and the first stage is an ID document check. So for this, you need to scan your document. You need to enable the camera, and then you just put the passport on the table in front of you and then put it within the perimeters of the square. It says it's complete. You then have to enter in a code and some details for an authentication check. The next part is checking the document's information, and this part is a bit more tricky. You need to enable NFC, which is the technology on your Android which can read a passport. It wasn't on this one, so I had to enable it by going into settings. And then you take your EU passport here, and then the idea is you lay your Android phone physically on the front of it, and it's supposed to be able to recognize it. So it didn't on the application that I did a few days ago, so I had to turn it over, turn the passport upside down, and then lay the Android phone on it, and then it did recognize it, and it beeps, and then you have to take a photograph again of the passport page. So it then says it's complete, and then the next stage is effectively to take a selfie. Just to use my own face for the purposes of the example, you put your face within the perimeter. It automatically then takes you forward to the next stage, and this is basically online, although you can still do this from your phone. Do you have dual nationality? You have to state the country in question. Do you have any previous nationalities? And then if you already have a permanent residence card, you can indicate. If you don't, you just click no. Click continue. Have you ever been granted indefinite leave to remain before? If the answer is no, then click that. Then you have to confirm your answers, and it takes you through to the next stage, which is residence in the UK. So you have to confirm what your address is. Have you ever been known by any other names? You enter your national insurance number. I recommend you have that ready before you go through this process. And then the next stage is the criminal convictions section. You need to confirm you don't have any. If that's the case, you don't hold extremist views, etc. And then you check your answers, you continue, and that is it. So you submit your answers, and then you have to give your security information and then complete the declaration. So you confirm that it's your application, if it is, or you can help someone with this application and confirm the same. You click you want to be contacted by phone if there are any inquiries. And then you have to pay the fee of £65. Now, the government's indicated that will be abolished, and if you do pay, you'll be refunded. Query the wisdom of this, given that you have to still pay and then be refunded after the end of March. But as a general rule, it's probably sensible to just pay and get your status regularised now, given the political turmoil around Brexit and the uncertainties. So your payment is then indicated to be successful, and it confirms you'll be considered for settled status. You submit your answers. Now here I hadn't authenticated the email, so you need to ensure that you do that. It just gives you a notification and prompts you to do that. And then it confirms the application submitted and gives you the application number. And this is the final screen. And then you just click log out. So look, I hope that's helpful. I'm going to be producing part 2 of this video series soon, where we're going to look at what happens if you're prompted to scan certain documents. So the idea behind the app is that it automatically recognizes from your benefits records or from your tax records that you have been resident in the UK, and that means you don't have to upload any documents. But sometimes, for some people, I said to someone yesterday who was in this position, they do not have the documents to allow the government to automatically recognise from their records that they've been resident in the UK, and that means they have to upload documents. Now that process is a bit more long-winded, and I'm going to do, as I say, part 2 of this series where I go through exactly how to upload documents if you are prompted in that way. In the case of this application that I've just shown you, the application was granted within 24 hours, and you normally, the next morning, literally the next morning, get a confirmation that you've been granted settled status. So check out part 2 of this, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.